Okay, Mick, look, let's get this contract nailed down for next season, shall we? Alright, well, I'm going to offer 7.5 million, which is a big improvement on my last offer, and for you, that's very good money. Don't worry about what Gio's on, mate. This is your contract we're talking about. Well, the difference is that Gio's fighting for a world championship, and you're fighting for 4th. Guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to Forza Ferrari. Today we have the Brazil weekend. It is a sprint weekend, and hopefully it's going to be a successful one for us. Really, this is the last throw of the dice for us. As been mentioned in the comments, realistically, Red Bull would need to completely DNF at least 2 of the last 3 races. We'd need to come 1st and 2nd, and even then, that just gets us back in the conversation. You know, they probably need to just not score any points, and we see if we can get 100, which is possible but unlikely. So the real interest, I think, is in the drivers, and again, it is unlikely. It's got to do maths now, 40-something points. Giovinazzi needs a couple of clean sweeps, and Verstappen needs a couple of bad weekends. But so it's not done. We'll keep trying. I really want to get Mick 4th, though, but we saw in Mexico, and I completely missed that Perez won in Mexico, which would have been a good thing we didn't catch him past him, or else we wouldn't have been able to leave alive. But yeah, I'd like that. I'd like if we could get him up to 4th, but anyway, we'll see what we get. Not too much has happened. Still can't agree a contract with Mick for next season. I mean, he's on nothing right now, and we've gone up to 8 million, I think. Oh, no, 7.5 I went up to. Giovinazzi is currently on 10.5, so I imagine that's what Mick's excuse me, looking at. But yeah, we'll see. I do want to keep him around for next season, if there is a next season. One thing I don't know, and if anybody has heard, please do let me know in the comments. Is there a release date for the new one for 24? Because it's not like we're expecting any rain, which is nice. Oh no, there's rain for qualifying. That's not quite so nice. Because yeah, and we see the sectors for qualifying and all that kind of stuff. I'll just sort of scroll through so you can have a look while I discuss this. Yeah, I don't know whether we do another season or not, because I don't know if there's going to be enough time before the new one comes out. Now, we could do more episodes a week, but yeah, I mean, if the new one's coming out at the end of this month, then obviously we're not going to have time. If it's not coming out till July, August, when it does sometimes, then we probably will have enough time. So yeah, I don't know. But anyway, sprint weekend, lots to do. Let's go. Oh, well, we've got to do a performance target. So we're qualifying, someone in the top 4. So yeah, if anybody does know that, I've been looking around and I've been trying to find out, and I know that sort of the F1 game, like the driving one, is coming out soonish actually. But I haven't heard anything about a release date for the new Formula 1 manager, just a lot of the features that they've got, which look brilliant, by the way. So light rain, potentially for qualifying. I'll do this one free practice session best I can, and then I'll see you for Q1. Alright, now we did have some rain in free practice. It went okay for us. Russell is taking penalties, though. Not sure how many, obviously. But we were a little way down the order, but we were on a hard tyre when it wasn't raining, so that's understandable, really. I'm not 100% sure how well we've got the car setups here. We should be close, though. You can see there, we should be close, which is positive. So it looks like it's going to be a wet qualifying. I'll put the proper engine parts in, and then I'll see you for Q1. Alright, now we're going to go straight out because it is wet. It might get worse, it might not. It's not dry. I can tell you that for free, guys. So yeah, we'll see what we get here. Where's this one? It says it's dry, but it's clearly not.
Push this lap.
And we'll get an idea here of roughly where we stand. Norris should give us a pretty good understanding of where we are. So 110, and Mick is a 10th faster, and a 10th slower again is Lando Norris. So that should be good for us to get through. We'll just have to wait and see now if the rain is going to dry up. It looks like it is going to dry up. Alright, the track is now dry. We've gone out on soft tyres. Everybody, I think I've done this perfectly. Everybody should be coming into the pits that did their first go. You can see we're currently 16th and 17th, which is understandable because we were out on inters and not soft tyres. But we've got clear track for both cars. And no one to blame but themselves, the drivers that is, if they don't do enough to get through here. You'd expect them to be doing green sectors because they're on a dry track now, not one that's wet. And we're not doing any purple sectors, which is perhaps slightly concerning. So let's see where this sticks us as Giovinazzi, excuse me, goes 3rd. Mick does do a purple 2nd sector. And Mick is going to be second. So second and fourth in amongst the Astons as it stands. And indeed, we get through quite comfortably. K-Mag will be annoyed to have a penalty there, won't he? But yeah, we're in amongst the penalties as well as everybody else. Now, let's have a quick look here. Who's missed out? And Carlos Sainz has missed out. So that's going to be a bit disappointing for him. Verstappen was not a mile away from being eliminated. That would have been helpful, wouldn't it? Alright, so Q2 looks quite similar to Q1. So we'll go straight out on Inters. And see, it looks like everybody is coming out on this occasion, though. We'll get an idea of where we stand. And then we'll probably have to come back in and get ready to do a lap on... as Mick is not going fastest overall. He's half a second faster than Gio, so... Oh, we've got a red flag. Well, that's gonna change things up. Why have we got a red flag? So it is Yuki Tsunoda that has brought out the red flag. That's his qualifying over, I would suspect. And it looks like the track is going to be dry when we restart and staying dry. So it'll be everybody out on softs, I suspect. Alright, so we are on board with Giovinazzi. He's 5th. Mick is currently 7th. Now, we did do a lap on the soft tyres we used in Q1, just to make sure that we had a decent lap time in. Now, most people, I think, have done their lap here. Where's sectors? So, yeah, we're probably okay here, but we've gone out. We might as well finish the lap. I wonder, actually, if we call in... Oh, Verstappen's going to miss out here, is he? Verstappen might miss out. We'll call in Giovinazzi, but we'll let Mick finish the lap because he's quite competitive here. Let's see if he can go and stick himself. Verstappen is indeed going to be out here, I think. Mick is going to go second. And is Verstappen on a lap? No, he's not. Verstappen's out. So that's a nice little bonus. Now, of course, he's got the sprint race, unfortunately, to make up for it. He's going to have some penalties around him as well. But, yeah, nice to see him failing. Oh, I just noticed it's raining. So we probably shouldn't have used a used set of tyres for the first run. Nothing in it at the front, less than a tenth between first and fifth. But Mick's had a dodgy lap and is going to start 10th in the sprint, it looks like. That's not the tyre. I mean, he's on the same age tyre more or less as Giovinazzi. That's just he's had a bad lap. So we will start the sprint from 3rd and 10th. Russell, all these penalties were, of course, applied to the Grand Prix, not to the sprint race. Yeah, Mick went faster, way faster, a second faster in Q2. So I don't really understand what happened there. But anyway, it's happened now. We have to make up for it. All right, here we go for the sprint race. So Mick's got work to do here, obviously. And I'm wondering if Verstappen's maybe at the end of the life of one of his engines or something, and that's why he seems a little bit off the pace. But this is the opportunity Giovinazzi's been waiting for. So let's hope that he can go and take it. You'll see, Mick, we're really pushing the tyres at the start. We won't continue to do that, obviously, for long, as Giovinazzi actually loses out a spot, which is always frustrating. But we've seen before in these races that what tends to happen is that, these being the sprint races, is that everybody seems to use their tyres up more at the start, and then we can come back at them later on in the race. So we don't want to get too panicky about anything like that. Mick has already gained 1 position. He's all over the back of Albon. See if he can go Albon on a hard tyre. Seems an interesting decision. Stroll's on a hard tyre, as is Verstappen. So that'll be interesting to see how that develops as the race goes on. We've got DRS now. But no one's really... The soft tyre wasn't going to get you far. It was going to fade too quickly, so that's why we've not done that. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. There's a bit of a train. It looks like we've just got back past Perez, so that's good. That's where we want to be. And yeah, with DRS in action nice and early, we should be able to get some overtakes done here as well. Ocon, surprisingly, in second, though, with Russell. Alright, so just a quick update with 15 laps to go here, and that is, it's a DRS train, basically. Mick's got himself up into 6th, which is the lead group, which actually goes all the way back to Stroll in 8th. Then there's a little bit of a gap back there. Verstappen's only made up 1 place to 10th. The basic plan here, as you can see, is sort of save the tyres as much as we can. We will conserve fuel, so we have a little bit extra to burn towards the end. We're topping up the battery. And then we'll try and I tell you what, we could be about to do a double overtake here. So let's see if we can probably not be silly here, actually. Let's not be silly. Let's not be silly, because it's still going to be a DRS train. I do wonder how much of a pace advantage that we have. What I don't want to do is basically, if we were to go to the front and then do a full push, if we don't break the DRS, then we've lost another position now. If we don't break the DRS, then we're going to, we need to, if we can get the second, we're going to have used up that sort of that advantage that we had. So, yeah, it's a little bit damned if we do, damned if we don't. But as long as we're in the DRS train at the front, then that's where we need to be. Don't want to be any further back than third, I wouldn't have thought. But, yeah, we're going to go to the front here, but I don't know that we want to. I don't know that we want to try and. I think if we were to get to the end of this straight in front, then maybe we do. There's still so long to go in the race, though. I'd just be worried that we use up the tyres trying to break free. Don't do it, and then yeah, kind of find ourselves a little bit screwed then. But anyway, let's see if we can keep Giovinazzi at the front and ideally move Mick forward a little bit more. It's quite the race, though. Alright, well, we are coming around to start the last lap. We are first and second. Mick has brilliantly worked his way through. Unfortunately, there's no replay, so I haven't really been able to show you, but he's just been picking them off one by one. We've got Giovinazzi's battery to a point where he should be able to deploy to the end, but there's no need. He's broken the DRS to Mick. Mick does have George Russell not a million miles behind him. But that being said, as long as he doesn't get past him here, he should be okay, because there's no other DRS then or across the start-finish line, but we should have enough to deploy him and get him there. But we're good on petrol, and Verstappen is in 11th. So we needed a weekend where Giovinazzi maximises things and Verstappen doesn't do what he needs to do. Are we about to get that? It's certainly the perfect start. If George Russell wants to put in a wall before he gets to the finish line, even better. But Giovinazzi wins the sprint. Mick is second. All Ferrari front row. Verstappen scores nothing. Here we go. Come on. So George Russell's going to drop down with penalties as well. Now that will in truth move Verstappen forward for the start of the race proper. But he doesn't have pace. Clearly, he doesn't have pace this weekend. Let's see what the race brings. Okay, so strategy. We've got the front row to ourselves. Okay, so I think what we want to do is we want to try and cover our bases. But I think soft, medium, because that way we're getting the undercut each time. So yeah, I think I like that. Now, does he have... Why is one of those soft tyres appear to be... Yeah, we do have 3 new sets of... Yeah, we're in a pretty good position for tyres here. So that's good. And then I think with Mick, maybe we just go the standard and just sort of cover ourselves off for a safety car or anything like that. Yeah, I mean, there's not much wiggle room in terms of pushing, but hopefully it won't matter. We seem to be the fastest car on track. We just need to make sure, of course, that we do get off the line and keep first and second if at all possible. Yeah, it should be fine. Alright, welcome back. Look at that glorious sight of all Ferrari front row and not a Red Bull in sight. There's one there. That might be Verstappen, who's starting 8th. So let's hope that we do indeed get ourselves off to a nice start. Hold position off the line. If Mick, you could not fight your teammate, that'd be brilliant. We don't need any defending to be done here. And the sort of dream scenario is that we drive off a little bit into the distance here. We break the DRS to the rest of the field and then just sort of cruise around for a couple of laps. 71 to be precise, but it's probably not going to quite work out like that. But no harm in trying. What sort of tyres everybody else on? So there's a lot of medium tyres behind us. Perez on a soft is the obvious danger. But what we don't want to do is overextend the tyres here. So we might concede defeat. We've already got the DRS broken, so it's going to be a top 3 race by the looks of things. And we just need to make sure that we're beating Perez, although we are actually not too far away from putting Perez out of DRS. Oh, that's to the leader.
No, guys.
That's to the leader. So we've got a yellow flag. Don't know what that's for. But doesn't really matter. Verstappen has spun. Well. Did he hit something as well? That would be an ideal situation, but he's spun himself out of the points. And he's having that race that we need him to have, isn't he? Alright, so just a bit of a quick update. Leclerc and Norris behind us have had an accident. Now they were a fair way back. But yeah, they've had an accident, so you can see they're both just coming in the pit, so that's their race is ruined. Perez has got past both of us, but to be honest, you can see we've got fully charged batteries. We're just saving fuel. To be able to keep up with us, he is a lot worse off on his tyres as well. So he's taking his car somewhere essentially he doesn't want to be right now, which is only going to benefit us down the line. As you can see, Russell's just got himself up into 4th. He's about 5 seconds back. What sort of lap times is he doing? He's more or less matching us, slightly quicker, but we have quite a bit that we can push on more if we need to. So yeah, I'm going to say it's so far so good. And when we get a little bit nearer to the pit window, we might try and see if we can drop Perez completely. What he's probably going to have to do is either come in a lap earlier, which sort of makes us a little bit vulnerable to an undercut, but equally it's going to hurt him later on in the race because he's going to have to... one of his sets of tyres is going to have to go that little bit further than what we are. So I'm not too concerned, and I think if we were to do the point laps, we'd pretty much just leave him in the dust now anyway. So yeah, we'll come back for pit stops. I think they're still a few laps away, but not too far. Alright, now Perez is just coming to the pit, so what we're going to do here, obviously our two cars can't come in the same lap. We're going to deploy Giovinazzi, really push him on. Hopefully he's going to suck Mick along with him. I mean, it makes more sense to bring Mick in this lap, actually, because he's getting towards the end anyway. He's in his pit window. It is ever so slightly early. Yeah, maybe that makes a little bit more sense. Giovinazzi has essentially burnt through his DRS, but let's see what sort of stop we get here with Mick. Hopefully a good one. Off on go. 2.5. Thank you very much. Nicely done. So he's going to come out hopefully ahead of De Vries. We're going to be very close. There he is there, I think. So Mick, of course, on a medium. This is his medium stint. And then Giovinazzi will bring him in, not this lap, the next lap, I think. So where's Perez? Perez is fair ways down. This is our optimal lap, so pit options will bring you in. And yeah, so far, so good. I'm not sure why Perez is so far down. Now, we could do with getting past De Vries nice and quickly. We won't get him into turn 1. We should get him up the back straight into turn 4, though, I would have hoped. He's going to be on older tyres than us as well. So yeah, that's that essentially done. There's no need to use Mick's DRS. He's already ahead of Perez. Ricciardo's had a pit stop issue. That doesn't really affect us one way or another. We'll try and harvest coming into the pits. And hopefully we get another 2.5 second stop here. Come on, make it a good one, boys. Off, on, go. Ah. So we've lost 2-point-something seconds there. We're out behind Perez and Mick, and also both Red Bulls. So we've lost out to George Russell there as well. What a disaster that is. How many cars have gone past in that 2 seconds? Alright, well, it's a good recovery this from Giovinazzi. Mick is out in front, though. The lead is his lead is getting pulled back in. If we look at last lap times, they're just sort of eating away at him a little bit, which isn't ideal. Gasly's going quite quickly, and we just can't quite get Giovinazzi inside the DRS of one of the front two, which means Gasly usually comes past us into turn 1. Not on this occasion. Oh, we might have just got into DRS there, you know. We should have DRS. Yes, we do. Okay. So that's good. Verstappen is in 12th. He's coming back a little bit, but not enough that he's going to score, you wouldn't have thought, major points without the help of a well-timed safety car or something. And yeah, so we just need Giovinazzi now to get himself... If we can get him up into second, then we can kind of manoeuvre things a little bit so that that Mick lets him pass. We did do a lap to get fastest lap with Giovinazzi, so that drained his battery, took a bit of life out of his tyres. But I think he is quick enough. As long as... Did Mick just go off then? No. as long as he's sort of there or thereabouts. Now, these two are both on... oh, no, they're not, sorry. So, Perez is going to have a soft tyre at the end, isn't he? So, that might be of slight concern. But we'll see. We should get a fairly decent undercut, as we've got a McLaren on a hard tyre. If we can get everybody there out of the way nicely. Yeah, so it should we should have a fairly decent undercut, and we've got Mick to sort of, as there goes Russell into the pits. So we've got to try and get back into the DRS of... I don't think we're going to quite have managed that. Yeah, so we'll have to keep an eye on where Russell comes out, hopefully in traffic. Where's he coming out? Go on, Bottas, get in front of him. Get in front of him, Bottas. No, it doesn't look like that's going to quite happen for us. So he's got himself a nice little gap there, which is annoying. But we'll be coming in a few laps here with Giovinazzi, and yeah, Mick will go on a little bit longer before he comes out on his soft tyres at the end. Alright, so this is Giovinazzi's in-lap. Perez, you might just see up in front there, is got Perez to the point he's about to get past him. Let's hope we get a better stop here. Off on go. That's better, isn't it? 2 seconds better. If only we'd had that in the first stop. So, do we come out? No, Russell has got past us. Now, has he come out onto a medium tyre? He has. And he's about 4 seconds up the road as well on that medium tyre. So, that's going to take a little bit of catching, which isn't ideal. And then Mick and Perez, will see. What I'd like to do, ideally, I think, is if Perez wants to come past and we can just sort of charge up the battery, because Perez has been doing better lap times, and Gasly's not a mile away either. But yeah, we'll see here. Russell's going to be annoying, isn't he? Mick, of course, will come out on soft tyre at the end, but George Russell's going to try and catch him, and he's got, as I said, about 4 seconds to try and do it. Might be tough. Alright, so we're on Mick's in-lap. Everybody else has stopped. Gasly just came in now. Perez has come out ahead of Giovinazzi, which again is not ideal, but if we could get past Gasly, that'd be a nice thing to do, please, Gio. And I think we've just about managed that. So that could be important. Let's go back to intervals. So Mick is coming in. One more good stop, please, boys. Come on. Off on go. 2.5. So Mick's got the better run of that, hasn't he? But Russell is going to have quite the lead. Gio goes ahead of us. So that's going to be the undercut effect, of course. But we can see right in front of us there is Gasly. That Gasly and Giovinazzi battle. Sainz is out of sync. He needs a pit stop. Yeah, he'll be coming in any time now, but Mick's the only one on soft tyres, so that's going to be an advantage for him. The problem is that ideally we want Giovinazzi to win this one, and there's a very, unfortunately, decent chance that he's not going to be able to do that. Alright, so we have let Mick past Giovinazzi. Now the hope here is that Mick on his softer tyres will kind of pull Giovinazzi around a little bit faster than what he would go by himself to catch those cars in front. Now we'll get an idea here exactly if this is going to work or not. They're all doing 109s in front, 108 for Gasly, 108. So it looks as though it is potentially going to work. But for it to work, of course, Mick needs to be catching the cars in front, not just... okay, so what we don't want you doing is fighting each other right now, please, Gio. Just sit behind him. Yeah, what I could even do is sacrifice Mick's tyres a little bit to try and get this gap down. 15 laps to go. I mean, we're getting what we want out of Verstappen. He's going to score very few points. What we didn't need was that mistake in the first pit stop, because that 2 seconds, 2 seconds up the road and we're right there. So we'll see. We're only 4 seconds off the lead with Giovinazzi, so we're not a million miles away. And like I say, 15 laps to go. It could be a bit of an exciting race here. You can see almost the whole front five within that little straight of each other. So it's all to play for. We just need Mick to get this done for us now. But we are faster than the cars in front. It's working, kind of, anyway. Alright, so this is first and second in front of us here. Hopefully it's about to just be first in front of us here. Mick has a tyre advantage. And, I mean, what we need to do is we need to win the race, first and foremost. If we can get Giovinazzi to do that, then brilliant. Unfortunately for him, he just doesn't quite... I mean, he's there. He's not... He hasn't lost touch or anything, but he's not quick enough right now. Mick is about to go to the front, I suspect, so there is that. Yeah, I mean, if Giovinazzi can get himself to second, we'll do everything we can to let him ahead of Mick, but he's not quick enough right now, so it's difficult to do. And we don't have that much extra tyre life. We might need to try and try. If we can get him into the DRS train, then maybe that works out, and then we can kind of charge him back up and go again. He's out of the battery there, though. See, this is the problem that he's got, is he's just not quite quick enough today. And that's going to hurt him. He has got DRS, though, I think. So, Russell is suddenly quite slow, though. Yeah, he just needs to get us... we need him to win, don't we? We need him to win, and we're getting the bad day out of Max, and... Well, excuse the pun, but we're not maximising. It's terrible. Alright, we're having... It's just pretty much last throw of the dice for Giovinazzi to try and get him the win. Virtual safety car. Okay, well, what's happened there? First up, we want to go to deploy. Now, virtual safety car means we don't want to be stopping, though, does it? Because... oh, it's a full safety car. Alright, if it's a full safety car...
What's your delta? Focus on tyres.
21 seconds. We can come in here and put on soft tyres for Giovinazzi. Mick, I don't think we want to, because he's currently winning. That's that. Worst case scenario here for Giovinazzi is that we would drop we drop one position to Russell, but we should be able to come out of the pits ahead of Ocon anyway. That is assuming that we get a clean stop, of course.
Sonoda in the barriers.
So Sonoda again, he calls the red flag. Bottas is out as well.
Is everybody okay?
Come on, please be a good one.
He's okay, no problem.
Alright, it's a good one. We're going to see what happened here, are we? No. So we should come out ahead of Ocon fairly comfortably. We are. We're going to stack up behind the field. We might have one lap, maybe. And we can go full send and, yeah, see what that does for Giovinazzi. Hopefully we get one lap anyway. So, I don't think we're going to get one lap, because we're coming around to start the last lap. Now, I don't regret doing it, because I think, although we have lost out to Russell now, I still think it was worthwhile doing, but we're about to start the last lap. Mick is at the head of the train, and we're going to finish behind the safety car, unfortunately. So, safety car is ending, because so is the race. And, yeah, well done, Mick. He's got himself a win. And it's just a shame we couldn't quite take advantage of Verstappen's bad weekend there. And George Russell nicked the fastest lap as well. So, in the end, we've not pulled back enough there on Max, have we? 8 points there. Who won the sprint? Did Giovinazzi win the sprint? Yeah, we've pulled back 16 points. So it's a 30-point gap. We basically need that to happen again. But Giovinazzi wins with fastest lap. Yeah, Perez, unfortunately for him, or unfortunately for Mick, had a good race as well. So, yeah, we've only pulled back 10 points on that, but that is closer as well. So, good, but still slightly disappointing, really, isn't it? The Constructors, is that mathematically done now? It's getting to that point, isn't it? But anyway, and what's this? Pit stops. Oh, I see Ferrari. We've got another pit stop point with Mick, and I think that means we're ahead of... yeah, we're ahead of Alfa Romeo now. 6 points. And, well, if we get the two fastest pit stops in the last couple of races, we can maybe still get... No, that's okay. So anyway, let me know what you think of that pit stop for Giovinazzi at the end. I think if we'd got a lap, we could have maybe even gone on to win the race, because we would have tried to move Mick over if he'd got to second. And everybody else on old tyres, there may have been a chance there, but unfortunately, there just wasn't enough laps left. We need Michael Massey, don't we? That's the problem. But that is that. If you've enjoyed it, thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. It is Las Vegas next. We've never not won there, and we've got... did we come first and second last year, or was that just the first season? Either way, we love Las Vegas. Let's hope we can get a good result there and take it down to the final round, and then you never know what might happen. So anyway, I'll see you in Vegas next time around. Take care.